All right, what is up, H-Town? We got a Kevin Porter Jr. video fresh out of the oven for you guys today. If you enjoy this video, hit the like button, hit that sub button, man. I want to start doing some player recaps for all of the players on the Houston Rockets this past year that are going to be on the lineup next year. We're going to start it off with KPJ because KPJ is the player who I am the most excited about. And I think it's just, honestly, guys, like this guy can really hoop, man. It's not even Rocket fans just, getting overly happy that they have a good player or whatever you want to call it. Now, on the season, Kevin averaged just over 16 points per game and just over 6 assists per game. Now, he had a lot to be proud of this past year, but there also is a little bit of room to improve, obviously. Now, coming from Cleveland in a midseason trade and then having played several games in the G League bubble for the Houston Rockets G League affiliate team, he only played 26 games this season. So, like I said, 16.6 points per game, 3.8 rebounds per game, 6.3 assists per game. Now, his turnover rate, that's probably where it's at the worst. Like 3.5 turnovers is not good one bit. We'll talk about that here in a minute now, but I would say Kevin Porter Jr. has done a great job at getting me just absolutely hyped about this season. He keeps tweeting about how he's a point guard, how he's got Houston. Like, he, along with Christian Wood and a lot of the other Rocket players, these guys cannot wait. They cannot wait for next season, and it's making me not be able to wait for next season. That's Kevin's biggest question mark is, can he be the point guard of the future for the Houston Rockets? And if the answer is yes, then the Houston Rockets have a very, very bright future on their hands. I love 6.6 assists per game. That is very underrated, in my opinion. Or 6.3 assists per game. That is very underrated. And before we get into that, let's talk about 42.5% from the field, so not too good, but not too bad. He shot 44% in his rookie year in Cleveland. 31% from deep. He shot 33.5% from deep his freshman year. So 73.5% from the free throw line. Usually they say the free throw percentage is indicative of, the shooting, how a player's gonna shoot in his career. So you could look at that and be a little worried. However, I would say this is Kevin's, first off, he started 3 games in Cleveland. So these were his first ever starts. He started in 23 of the 26 games he played in, averaged 32 minutes per game. And yeah, while he did throw up 14 points or 14 shots a game, only made 6 of them, 6 threes a game, only made 2 of them. It's not that bad. It's not bad by any means, especially when you consider this guy is 20 years old being thrown into a starting role for the first time in his career. In the G League bubble, he went off for like 25 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists per game. He was going completely off, and he was turning heads from everybody around the league. Like, yo, Kevin Porter Jr., when he comes up to the league, he is going to go off. And I saw that. I picked him up in my fantasy league, and he's actually one of the big reasons I ended up winning my fantasy team. So shout out to Kevin. But I would say his point guard ability, it's improving dramatically. That's the biggest thing with point guards these days is you need them to be able to play make. I'll use Kobe White on the Chicago Bulls as an example. He's an incredible, phenomenal scorer, and he's going to have a long career scoring the basketball, but he needs to start being able to play make. He needs to average more than 3 to 4 assists per game. And you look at Kevin, pretty much a shooting guard his whole entire career, especially in college, and now he comes into the G League, gets some minutes at the point guard position. Now he comes to the Rockets, averages 6.5 assists per game, making other players better. He drops 50 and 11 against the Milwaukee Bucks. That should say something. And then they go ahead and rest him because of injuries and shutdown and all that good stuff. So Kevin is definitely who I'm most excited about. And that's really all he has to do next season is be a little more efficient. Just got to be a little more efficient. I would also like to maybe see some improvement on the defensive end. However, at his age, that should just come per year. It should slowly, incrementally go up. in my opinion, with Kevin. He's shown he's fully willing to try hard on defense and a willing defender, so he should just steadily improve, in my opinion, on the defensive end. But next year, I want to see a better than 31% from deep, better free throw percentage, and less turnovers. If that's the only things you're looking out for in your star point guard who's 20 years old, I mean, that's good issues to have right there. If he comes out, he's averaging 6.5 assists per game, this Houston Rockets squad, they somehow could manage to be into the playoffs. Like Kevin and Christian Wood, they control a lot of the Houston Rockets' destiny for next season, depending on how much they progress, how much they develop. And looking at Kevin Porter Jr.'s Instagram, looking through his Twitter, his social media, YouTube videos, he has been putting in mad work this summer, and he is hungry and ready to go, man. So I'm really excited. But that's going to be it for today, guys. Let me know which player you want me to review or to expect from next season. My predictions, I'll go for KPJ. I'll go just right off here, early season predictions. I'll go 22 points per game, which sounds pretty crazy. 22 points per game, 4 rebounds, and 7 assists. Lock that in. Go ahead, comment what you think he'll drop next season. Most importantly, hit a like button, hit the comment, hit the sub button if you haven't already. Peace.